Hare Krishna, everyone. Firstly, I want to ask, can everyone see the slide? Is the word clear? Okay, thank you. Okay. First, we would start with Jai Radha Madhava, because Srila Prabhupada said that whenever we are starting a class, any class, we should start with Jai Radha Madhava. Okay, let's start. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jaya Jaya Girivardhana Jaya Girivardhana Ayo Yasoda Jana Braja Jana Jana Yasoda Jana Jana Yamuna Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare. Next, we would like to recite the Mangala Charana. Must open Zoom, right? English water. Next, we would like to recite the invocation. The Mangala Charana. Okay, everyone, we recite it together. Okay.
Okay.
Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-Jana-Shalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadasi Tapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jantam Sahagana Raghunathan Svati Sajiva Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Krishna Krishna Mana Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Sha Namao Vishnu Paraya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay. So today I would like to talk about Nectar of Instruction. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutare Srimati Vigna Vinasa Nashima Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Okay. Okay. Today we're gonna talk about Nectar of Instruction and why this book is important for every devotee. And today I will just talk about the preface and sloka 1. Okay. Who don't have the book? Everyone has the book. If you don't, you can go to vedabase.com and get it online. Who don't have? Three books. Got inside, got it. Just one again. Okay. Okay. So, Nectar of Instruction. This book was written by Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay. This book is very important for us as Hare Krishna devotee, as our Gaudiya Vaishnava Gaudiya Sampradaya, us, all of us, is very important for us. Okay, Gaudiya Brahma Madhava Sampradaya. So, in this book, what you can see is from Shraddha to Prema in 11 verses. This is what we're going to learn in this book. Today, I'll be just talking about the preface and text 1. Firstly, Tamil la peswa, English la peswa. Let mix பண்ணி பேசுவா. அப்பா மாத்து. Who's going to help translate the Mataji? Translate for the Mataji. Shamli Mataji. So நான் மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி பேச எல்லாருக்கும் விளங்குற மாதிரி. ஓகே. சோ இன்னைக்கு நான் என்ன சொல்ல போறேன்னா, நான் என்ன விளக்க போறேன்னா, ப்ரீஃபேஸ்ல இருக்கிறதும் முதல் ஸ்லோகால என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காரு பிரபுபாத் ஸ்ரீல ரூப கோஸ்வாமி என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காரோ அது வந்து நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம். ஓகே, இதான் அந்த புக். This book is the old version, this is the old model, and this is the new one. Okay, this Nectar of Instruction. Okay. Nectar of Instruction is a collection of 11 verses. As you can see in the first page of the book, you can see there's a small patikan saying what is Nectar of Instruction. Okay, this book was actually Sri Upadesha Mrita. This book was actually compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami, but Srila Prabhupada took 11 important verses and compiled it into Nectar of Instruction. Because Srila Rupa Goswami's Sri Upadeshamrita is very thick and it's very hard to understand as a normal person. You have to have advanced knowledge to understand that book. So what Srila Prabhupada did is he compiled just 11 important verses in that and he put it in Nectar of Instruction. When they want to publish this book back in the days, Srila Prabhupada told Tamal Krishna Goswami to publish this book. What he did, he only published 1,000 plus copies. And Prabhupada asked, why so little? And Tamal Goswami said that this one only devotees will read Prabhupada. Normal person, they all won't read. But Prabhupada said, this book is a guide how to become a perfect person and a perfect devotee. So you can print a lot. And a lot of people will take this book. So that book was actually a very big hit. This book is like very important. Every devotee must read this book. Okay? It's just 11 verses and it's a very small book. But when you read it in deeply, there's actually a lot of things to understand. Okay. So prefaced by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Okay, so firstly, in the preface, Srila Prabhupada has said that the Krishna conscious movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas or the Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom 6 Goswamis of Vrindavana are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottama Dasa Thakura has sung this song. Actually, I wanted to sing this song before this, but the tune is very hard to sing, so I did not. So this one you can see in the 4th verse. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kave Hama Buj Habo Se Jugala Piriti. So, what is the translation? So, Narottama Dasa has said that when I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affair of Radha and Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the signs of Krishna. The most exhaled of all activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with his gopis. So, இது வரைக்கும் என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா நரோத்தம தாசா இந்த 6 கோஸ்வாமிக்கு கொடுத்த அந்த லிட்ரேச்சர், அந்த புத்தகம், அவங்க சொன்ன அந்த வேர்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து படிக்க அத படிச்சாதான் I will be able to understand. எனக்கு வந்து ராதா கிருஷ்ணாவோட loving affair விளங்க முடியும். Okay? The most exhaled of all activities of Lord Krishna and his pastimes of conjugal love with his gopis. So the most exhaled, the most conjugal love with his gopis is the most exhaled activities of all time. Okay? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow his footsteps, one must seriously follow the footsteps of the Goswamis. நம்ம எப்படி வந்து ஸ்ரீ சைத்தன்ய மகாபிரபுவோட இயக்கத்துக்கு பின்னால நம்ம வந்து எப்படி ஃபாலோ பண்றதுன்னா இந்த 6 கோஸ்வாமியோட ஃபுட்ஸ்டெப்ஸ் நாங்க ஃபாலோ பண்ணுவோம். Okay? And the 6 Goswamis are Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta and Dasa Raghunatha. Okay? Then we have to, after that, the second particular that in the book, there's the second paragraph, and I just made the particular smaller and I'll explain by words. Okay? What you have to understand, the second thing is Sri Rupa Goswami is the leader of all Goswamis, all the 6 Goswamis, and the Sri Rupa Goswami is the leader. Okay? And the Upadeshamrita is provided to guide the devotees. Okay? guide the devotees. The Upadeshamrita helps individuals to become pure Vaishnavas. Everyone should read this book. This book will help us be perfect devotees, pure Vaishnavas. Okay? Upadeshamrita is the first instruction of neophyte devotees given by Srila Rupa Goswami. This book is very important. The prefix is just saying how important this book is as a devotee for us to read. Okay? Other important books was given after Upadeshamrita. Srila Rupa Goswami gave us the book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidanga Madhava and Lalita Madhava. Okay? But the first book is this book. That is why this book is very important. Okay? Am I going too fast? Okay, next. Now we go to the sloka. First, I'll read and then I would like everyone to continue and then we can read one by one. Okay? Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, uda prastha vegam, etan vegan yo vishaheta diraha, sarvam apimam pritim sasyat. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, uda ro prastha vegam, etan vegan yo vishaheta diraha, sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. Okay, start reading one minute. Anyone would like to try? Anyone just? Jiva vegam, uda prastha vegam, etan vegan yo vishaheta diraha, sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. Next. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivam vegam, udaro pastha vegam, etan vegan yo vishaheta diraha, sarvam apimam prithvim sashyat. Any Matajis, any Prabhus? Vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jivam vegam, udaro pastha vegam, etan yo vishaheta diraha, sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. Manasa krodha vegam, jivam vegam, sarvam apimam sashishyat. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, evan vegam, udaro pastha vegam, sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. Vacho Two more people. Okay. Now we look at the direct translation. Vacha of speech. Vega. Oh. Vacha of speech. Vegam urge. Manasa of the mind. Krodha of anger. Vegam urge. Jiva of the tongue. Vegam urge. Udara pasta of the belly and genitals. Vegam urge. Etan these. Vegan urges. Yeah, whoever. Vishaheta can tolerate. Viraha sober. Sarvam all. Api certainly. Ima idis. Prithvim world. Sah the personality. Shishya can make disciples. Okay, this is the translation. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the action of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Okay, firstly, one of these questions, okay, many people will ask, why do we have to control all of this? Why do we have to control the stomach, control our tongue? Even scientifically speaking, we have to control our tongue because what we eat is how healthy we are. You eat junk food, you will get unhealthy. You will be unhealthy. You eat healthy food, you live longer. So we can also relate scientific things in this book. Okay. First, in Srimad Bhagavatam 6, Canto 6, Chapter 1, Sloka 9, it says, Parikshit Maharaj is asking some questions. Okay, he's asking, Sri Raja Vacha, Dirsta Shrubhatyam Yam Yat Papam Janan Api Atmano Hitam Karoti Bhuyo Vivasha Prayashitam Atokatam. So he's asking, what is the Prayachittam? Tamil Prayachittam வந்து என்னன்னு கேட்டாங்க. Okay. So translation la பார்த்தா Maharaj Parikshit said, one may know that the sinful activities is injurious for him because he actually sees the criminal is punished by the government and rebuffed by people in general, and because he hears from scriptures and learned scholars that one is thrown into hellish condition in the next life of committing sinful acts. Nevertheless, in spite of such knowledge, one is forced to commit sins again and again, even after performing acts of atonement. Therefore, what is the value of such atonement? Atonement na prayachittam. Okay. And then this is Sloka 9 and this is Sloka 10. Parikshit Maharaj also states that Sometimes one who is very alert is so as not commit sinful acts and victimized by sinful life again. I therefore consider this process of repeated sinning and atoning to be useless. It's like bathing of an elephant cleanses itself by taking full bath and then throw dust over the head and the body as soon as it returns to land. This is an analogy. Analogy is here to make us understand easier. இப்போ ஒரு யானையோட normal இது என்னன்னா, it goes to bathe in the water. It cleans itself very cleanly. It's very clean, bathe nicely. If the yana comes out again, it will take the sand and put on top of itself. That is the characteristic of the elephant. Okay, so we can see here that we can see that this is like யானை அவ்வளவு சுத்தமா குளிச்சா கூட அது வெளியே போனோடனே அது திரும்ப அந்த மண்ணை எடுத்து திரும்ப மேலதான் போகும். That is our situation now. Okay, for that Maharaj Parikshit also inquired. This is the analogy. You see, the elephant is bathing very clean. Okay, the elephant may take a very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes out of the bank, it throws dirt all over the body. And then what is the value of bathing? See, it's bathing and then manna tukki thalile poduchu. Okay, this analogy can relate to our spiritual life. How? You see, many people, they chant Hare Krishna. Even though they chant Hare Krishna, they chant the Maha Mantra, they do sinful acts. அவங்க என்ன நினைக்கிறாங்கன்னா, ஓ நான் தான் சாண்ட் பண்றேன், இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு திரும்ப பலிக்காது. They think like that. Because that is how this analogy we can relate. Even though you're chanting, you do sinful acts. So if you do sinful acts, they think that, oh, I'm chanting, so it's pride chitta. Okay, understand? So if you're initiated, normally we are encouraged to memorize the 10 offenses of chanting. So before initiation, normally the Guru Maharaj will ask, what is the 10 offenses of chanting? So in the 10 offenses of chanting, this is the 10 offenses of chanting. Okay, the 7th offense is to commit sinful activities of the strength of the holy name. And the holy name and nambite sinful activities நம்ம செஞ்சுக்கிறோம். Okay, yeah. Of the 10 offenses, types of offense one can commit while chanting of the holy name. This offense is called Namno Balat Yashya Hi Papa Buddhahi. This is the Sanskrit term of this. This is the English version. The Sanskrit term is Namno Balat Yashya Hi Papa Buddhahi. So it translates to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Okay, just as an example only. It's an example is where some Christians, they go to church every Saturday or Sunday and they confess their weekly sins to the pastor, right? So when they confess, they believe that, oh, my sins are gone. My sins are, I already tell the pastor, I already confess my sins. So I'm now sinless. They believe like that. So it's, you know how, and they go back to Saturday and Sunday. Okay, if you go Sunday, you go to church on Sunday and you confess your sins. And Sunday you go back to the same, you just do the same sins. Because you believe that, oh, once a week I go and confess my sins. So I can do whatever. I still confess my sins. I'll still go back to heaven. Okay, so this is what they believe. They be forgiven every time. They believe that they will be forgiven every time they confess their sins. This kind of pride chitta or pride chitta is condemned by Parikshit Maharaj. He's saying that it doesn't make sense, he says. Okay, he says that only the most intelligent king of Parikshit Maharaj is actually the most intelligent king of his time, and he says that only if someone understands the Vedas properly and they act according to the Vedas, they can be forgiven. Okay, a sinful activity cannot be counteracted by a pious activity. That is very important. Oh, I do something sinful and okay, I offend a devotee today. I'm chanting so that offend Krishna வந்து நான் தான் chant பண்றேன்ல, நான் offend பண்ணாலும் அதுக்கு நான் chant பண்றதால அது பாவம் கிடையாது நினைப்பாங்க. So this is actually you have to think with logic also. You offend a devotee, but you think by chanting that this Krishna will forgive this offend. It doesn't make sense. Offending a devotee is like offending Krishna. Krishna will take offense for himself. He doesn't mind. But when you offend a devotee, Krishna will get very angry. And later on, I'll give you an example for this. Okay? Okay. Now we can see that what is the real Prayachittam, the real annulment. Srila Prabhupada has said in this initiation lecture, March 10, 1968, San Francisco, he says that tapasya means voluntarily accepting some rules and regulations to purify myself. That is called tapasya. So you have to follow tapasya. Before initiation, they'll ask what is the 4 regulative principles. Why they ask the 4 regulative principles? Why they ask? This 4 regulative principles is under tapasya. By doing tapasya, we prevent ourselves from we offend someone and prevent ourselves from these unnecessary sinful activities. Okay? Even when you're scientifically talking, meat eating, if you eat more meat, you gain more cholesterol and it's not healthy for you. Okay? Gambling. Logically speaking also, if you gamble a lot, there's a chance of you going bankrupt. And there's a chance of you losing all your money and will go into a spiral of depression. No illicit sex. No, you don't need to, how do I explain it? No illicit sex is, you have your own moral value. You have to be moral. Next is intoxication. Intoxication is bad for your health, bad for your name. It's even like when you're intoxicated, you don't know what you're thinking. You go insane. You go like a mother pucha yana. Okay. Next is Mad elephant. Sorry, yeah. Mad elephant. Okay. By following such tapasya, one can gradually be elevated to the standard of real knowledge. Only by following tapasya. Only by being disciplined. Tapasya is like you have to be disciplined. Tapasya is discipline, if you want to understand easier. How discipline and how you have to follow rules. Okay? One can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity or celibacy, brahmacharya. Normally, the Guru Maharaj will say that all the guys should remain brahmachari until they get married. Shouldn't see any girls. All the girls are the sisters. They must see as the sisters and the mother. Sister also important. Okay? Yeah, and the girls also should be pious until they get married. Okay? By controlling the mind and controlling the senses, by giving up one's possession in charity, by being evolved with truthful and by keeping clean and by practicing yoga asanas. However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a pure devotee, he can easily surpass all of his practices of controlling his mind by the mystic yoga process simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness. Let me just give you an example of having an association with a very with a great devotee, with a pure devotee. A few months ago, we had a camp, a youth camp by ISKCON KL Youth. I also went for the camp. Before the camp, I was actually very nervous because I was the only one there. I and my sister, we are the only one there from Ipoh. And then I still have bad habits, I don't finish my 16 rounds and stuff. But when I went to the camp, I saw Narasimha Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, he was chanting a lot. He was keep chanting. Whenever you see, wherever you go, he's chanting. And we had Japa walk in the morning. We had 1 kilometer, we hike up and we hike down. We hike from up from the place, we hike down 500 meters and from down we hike up 500 meters. And then, because before this I was lazy, I can say I am very lazy, that I didn't finish my 16 rounds. I was just Yeah, 16 rounds தானே. I mean, எனக்கு வேற வேலை இருக்கு, நிறைய வேலை இருக்கு, பாடம், homework இருக்கு முடிக்க, tuition இருக்கு. And when I see how these great devotees, they are very disciplined about their 16 rounds, minimum 16 rounds. When I see the youth there, they are also very, how to say, they're very strict about their 16 rounds. A minimum must finish your 16 rounds. And that one made me realize that I was actually a very bad devotee. And by associating with them, I feel I've improved a lot. That I finish my 16 rounds every day. No matter what, I still finish my 16 rounds. Even if I have to wake up early and finish it, it's still very important. So that's just a small example of how association with a great devotee will definitely influence us to a better path. Okay. Next. Okay, first one was control the speaking power. Okay. Speaking power is actually very important as a devotee. We have to see what we are talking. We cannot be very boastful. We have to be, every time we have to be humble. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said in Shistatstakam, Sloka 3, says that we have to be humble as a grass and tolerant as a tree, right? So, first we can talk about, this is another analogy given by Srila Prabhupada. A toad in a field speaks by croaking. And similarly, everyone who has a tongue wants to speak. Now, a lot of people are fighting freedom of speech in US. Oh, I have freedom of speech. I have the power to speak. I am a human being. Okay. So we're just saying that we have freedom of speech, but how to use freedom of speech in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Here, continuing, it says that similarly, everyone has a tongue to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. Those croaking toads, however, simply invites the snake, saying, please come here and eat me, because it's making noise. So, nevertheless, although it is inviting death, the toad goes on croaking. The talking of materialistic men and impersonalist Mayavadis, philosophers, may be compared to the croaking of frogs. Okay. Our speech is actually very important in Krishna consciousness. Another example we can give is in the kitchen. If we are in the kitchen cooking, we should be talking about Krishna consciousness. Talking about Krishna's pastimes. We can listen to Krishna songs, Krishna bhajan, kirtan. We cannot talk about, oh, this Mataji, cannot work with this Mataji, like that. We cannot talk like that. That is actually, you're just offending the devotee. Whatever you have to be humble, and we have to be focused on what we are cooking, because our consciousness is very important when you're cooking prasadam. Okay, because what you cook is the consciousness will come into your prasadam. You cannot offer, you எப்படி சொல்றதுன்னா புலம்பிக்கிட்டே சமைப்பாங்க சில பேரு. So புலம்பிக்கிட்டே சமைப்பாங்க. Yeah, they keep grumbling. It's like, yeah, at least you want to cook lah. I want to go out and eat like that. So they keep grumbling and they cook for Krishna. Krishna will take the seeds, but it doesn't become prasadam. It becomes karmic free food only. So our consciousness is very important when you're cooking. That is how we control our speech. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada has said that they are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch themselves. Controlling speech, however, doesn't mean self-imposed silence, which is mauna, like mauna viridam and stuff, right? As Mayavadi philosophers speak, silence may appear helpful for some times, but ultimately proves a failure. The meaning of controlled speech conveyed by Srila Rupa Goswami advocates the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging in speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and the pastime of Lord. The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of death. There is the significance of controlling the urge to speak. So as I said, the urge to speak, our mouth, we have the urge to speak is there. Everyone will speak. We have the urge to speak. Every time we're like, you are very bored, I want to talk to someone. Right? So when we speak about Krishna. Even in the kitchen, as I gave the example, why want to talk about others when we can talk about Krishna? Listen to class in the kitchen when we're cooking for Krishna. Yeah. Next, you can see is, okay. The restlessness of fickleness of the mind, Mano Vega, is controlled when one is fixed when in his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Many Mayavadis, they'll be like, where's the proof? Actually, this Mayavadis, the main thing is they will be like debating with us. What is the proof? Where is the proof? Why you have to chant? Why you have to do that? Where's the proof? We have to give the proof, which is very easily. Can you prove it? Yes, we can. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 22.31. Okay. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Haya Andhakara, Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi, Ma Yara Adikara. Okay. Adhikara. This is the translation. Krishna is just like a sun. Okay. The Maya is just like darkness. If the sun is present, there's no question of darkness. Similarly, if Krishna is present in the mind, there is no possibilities of the mind being agitated by Maya's influence. Maya's influence. The yogic process by negating all material thoughts will not help. You know, some people like I can meditate and stop my mind. I can meditate and be like, I'm now meditation செய்றேன். நான் வந்து என்னோட mind ரொம்ப control பண்றேன். That never works. Maybe in this Kali Yuga it never works. You cannot, okay, in Bhagavad Gita, I'm not sure which sloka, but it said that our eyes will be focused in our nose and our eyes should be semi-closed and we have to breathe some kind. That is not happening in Kali Yuga. You think people will sit down and spend their time focusing on their nose and doing yoga, doing a meditation? So, even you're very good and you're meditating like this, it doesn't help calm our mind. Our mind only will be calm when we read the Vedas and we understand the Vedas. Trying to create a vacuum in the mind is artificial. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one always thinks of Krishna and how to serve Krishna best, one mind will naturally be controlled. Some people, they have many problems in life. As students also, you have school, you have a lot of family issues, you have to focus on SPM. But what I do is, I have a separate time to read Bhagavad Gita, any of the Vedas. Like Nectar of Instruction, Ishopanishad, Nectar of Devotion, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. At least, actually, initiated devotees should read one Srimad Bhagavatam sloka a day. So by reading that, I feel for myself that your mind will become calm for that 30 minutes. Your mind won't go into somewhere else. When you're doing maths example, you'll be thinking, oh, next is science. I want to study photosynthesis. You cannot concentrate in maths alone. That's not happening. But when I'm reading the Vedas, you can actually in the book, in the Vedas, and your mind won't deviate anywhere. Your concentration will be in the book, will be in the Bhagavad Gita or whatever book you're going to read. Apart towards the devotee. Okay, this is just a story. Okay. Similarly, anger can be controlled. We cannot stop anger altogether. All of us are angry. You stub your toe in a chair, you'll be angry. Your father scold you, you'll be angry. You cannot control anger. Okay? As a human being, you can never control anger. This is how we can learn in this text how we control anger in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Example is, but if we simply become angry with those who blaspheme the Lord or the devotees of the Lord, we control our anger in Krishna consciousness. Even our anger we put to good use. Okay, that is how we put our anger to good use. We become angry at the individual who creates blasphemy against the Lord or his devotees. Okay, example, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry when the miscreant brothers Jaga and Madai, what they did is they blasphemed and they struck Nityananda Prabhu. They actually Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became so angry because these two boys, they blasphemed and struck Nityananda Prabhu. So this is an example of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime itself, how we control our anger in Krishna consciousness. Even if these boys bless me, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't take it serious. He didn't take it personally. When a devotee offends another devotee, that is when Lord Krishna becomes angry. Because a Vaishnava aparadh is something very, very heavy. Okay, you offend Krishna. Okay, you say Krishna there, Krishna this, he still tolerates you. But when you offend a Krishna's devotee, it's different. Okay. Okay, Trindat api sunchena, taror api shahistuna. This is Shishtataka Sloka 3. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, be more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, always offering respect unto others and never expecting anything in return. Okay. As an example, we can talk about doing seva in the temple. Oh, now I love you more content. Go and tell everyone. Now more content, Mataji. Now more content. You expecting saying, oh, thank you, Mataji, very good. Something like that. You expect the Mataji to praise you. That is unnecessary. Okay? Even let's say, that is the main thing during seva. You just go and say, you go and tell to get attention from this Mataji. You get validation from this Mataji. That is not necessary. It's not necessary. We just be humble. We don't be boastful. As you can say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, be more humble than a grass. We have to be very humble. Okay, whatever people say, be humble. It will come back to them. We have just humble, slow, okay, whatever, okay, Hare Krishna, thank you, something like that. Okay, and tolerant as a tree. Okay, this is another 2 examples on where we can see this. Hanuman, what Hanuman did, he set fire to Lanka. Why he set fire to Lanka? Is it his personal vengeance towards Ravana? Is it he hates Ravana? He do hate Ravana, but he did it in Krishna consciousness. He did it for Ramachandra Prabhu, right? Another example we can see is how we utilize our anger is Arjuna. Okay, even though Arjuna was like, he was like, I don't want to fight. I don't think I can fight. They are my family. Krishna said what? You must fight because that is your prescribed duty. So you use anger in Krishna consciousness. You don't need to be angry over some material stuff. If, okay, example, like we can say that, oh, I support this, you support that. I don't support you, you don't support me. And I get angry. That is just create problem. It will create a lot of problems in life. You'll be sad. You'll be offended. So as Krishna says, as Srila Rupa Goswami said, you have to be humble in the Upadeshamrita. Okay? Tranat api suni chena, taror api sahistuna. Humble as a grass, tolerance as a tree. Whatever they tell, just be humble. Just solid bottom. Must be like that. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about the urges of the tongue. This is very important. Because people think when they come to ISKCON, oh my God, the food is so nice. Many people get attracted because of the food. Okay, so here Prabhupada says that as for the urges of the tongue, we all experience that the tongue wants to eat palatable dishes. Okay, palatable dishes means very tasty food. I want to try. Okay, today Mataji made laksa. Wow, laksa. Na laksa kage vande. People like that. Yeah. So it's like that. How we control the urges of our tongue is generally we should not allow our tongue to eat according to its choice. Example, oh, I feel eating karimi today. So I make karimi at home, I offer to Krishna and eat it as prasadam. It's not like that. You have to know what Krishna wants, what Jagannath. Okay, we have Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Deti at home. So we have to think what Jagannath wants and not what I want. I cannot be selfish. Okay? What Jagannath wants. That is how we control our tongue in Krishna consciousness. He also says that our tongue to eat according to the choices. We should control the tongue by supplying prasadam. The devotee's attitude is that he will eat only when Krishna gives him the prasadam. That is when That is the way to control the urge of the tongue. One should take prasadam at scheduled times and should not eat in restaurants or sweetmeat shops simply to satisfy the whims of the tongue or belly. Like, oh, my curry meat not nice lah. I want to go and eat the curry meat in the shop. But it's not prasadam. Can you eat prasadam? Can you eat something which is not prasadam? No. That is how we control our tongue in Krishna consciousness. Yes, okay. If we stick to this principle of taking only prasadam, the urges of our tongue and belly can be controlled. Even scientifically speaking, that if we control our tongue, we are automatically healthy. You eat a lot of potatoes, you get fat. You eat a lot of rice, you get fat. You eat meat, you'll get sick. That meat will definitely end up in some sickness. Especially the meat now, lab-grown meat. You eat lab-grown meat, you'll get cancer. Whatever, it's a new thing. Okay. Next, we're gonna know in similar manner, the urges of the genital and sex impulse can be controlled when one is not used unnecessarily. This is when I said that most of the Guru Maharaj say that the guys, the boys remain a brahmachari until they find their wife. Okay, and the girls also should stay morally clean. The genitals should be used to begin a Krishna conscious child. The genitals only should be used when you're married and you want to have children who will bring good things to Krishna consciousness. You cultivate your children in Krishna consciousness is the way we use our genitals in Krishna consciousness. We cultivate our children to become pure devotees. Okay? The Krishna conscious movement encourages marriage not for the satisfaction of genitals but the begetting of Krishna conscious children. As soon as the children are little grown up, they are sent to Gurukula school, where they are trained to become fully Krishna conscious devotees. Many such Krishna conscious devotees are required, and one who is capable of bringing forth Krishna conscious offsprings is only this person is allowed to utilize his or her genitals. Okay? Oh yeah. 20 more slides. When one is fully practiced in the methods of Krishna conscious control, he can become a qualified to be a bona fide spiritual master. Okay, what is this? What is this picture? Ah, yeah, okay. In his Anuvirti explanation of Upadesha Mrita, Srila Rupa Goswami has, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura has stated that our material identification creates three kinds of urges. Okay, we are going into the conclusion part of this sloka. Three urges, which is our speak, urge to demand, and urge of the mind, demands of the body. Okay, when a living entity falls victim to these three types of urges, his life becomes inauspicious. Eating meat is auspicious. All right. So meat is something inauspicious. So this person, they get born into meat. Oh, na chinna vayasula saapren meat na thaangula. I have to eat meat like that. So they get their body itself is automatically inauspicious. Okay, because you're eating a dead body which you're killing for food. Okay. One who practices resisting these demands and the urges is called tapashvi. Okay. Or one who practices austerities. Austerities is not like very hard. Okay, like last time, like Hiranyakashipu, he did austerities how? Stand in one foot for how many 100,000 years? That is not austerity we are speaking here. Just follow the four regulative principles, something very easy to follow. It's not hard. We have to be grateful that during Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us an easy way to attain Godhead. We shouldn't, it's not like we have to stand in like one, okay, we go to Kailash, we go to the mountain range, we do like dhyana, we meditate there, okay? It's not like that. Just follow four regulative principles. It's nothing hard. You just be disciplined and just follow the four regulative principles. And that is how you become a tapasvi. By such tapasya, one can overcome victimization by such personality of body. This is how we can overcome all these unnecessary problems in life. Our health, our like nama baik untuk masyarakat. Like our nama, our name won't be destroyed by some unnecessary problems just because you cannot control your urge. Okay. Lastly is the urge to speak. Okay. We refer to the urge of speak. We refer to useless talking. Useless talking is like when like as an example you can give in US, all the people who retire, they sit down in a coffee table, smoking their cigars, drinking coffee or tea, talking about the US economy, US politics. That's unnecessary. You're going to die rich. Why are you talking about all of this? Malaysia also same, but here in the book it's given US, so I just follow US. We talk about Krishna. It's so much of interesting stuff we can talk about Krishna. And why do we need to talk about politics? Why do we have to talk about இவங்க சரியில்லை அவங்க சரியில்லை? No, why do we have to talk about them? We can talk about, you know what, today I listened in the class now. Krishna said this in Bhagavad Gita. I feel very touched listening to this. We have to connect our daily issues, daily life to something Krishna said. That is how we control our urge to speak Krishna consciousness. Okay? And this subject has actually been explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, text 10 and 11. Okay? Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by a saintly person to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for cows, since they are all perfect. Since they are all perfect persons and inhabitants of transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there. I have this, I support this, you support that. When we talk about it, we end up fighting. Because I don't agree with you, you don't agree. So why do we fight like that when we can talk about, today I went for Chaitanya Charitamrita class. And in the class, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did this past time. By doing this, you agree on that, and the person you're talking to also will agree on that. Less fight, less annoyed. You get less annoyed. You be happy. No problems. No problems among devotees. No fighting. This is text 10, text 11. Sorry. On the other hand, the literature which is full of description of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastime, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. In this world now, currently, we are going through a modernization process, which is very unnecessary, to be honest. Why do you want to go to modernization? It's actually modernization is something foolish. They get more repulsive because they are very, how to say, I have a right to speak. My mouth, I speak whatever I want, and you have to agree with that. So it's something like that. When this modernization happening, there's a lot of things you don't agree with, and the society will force you into agreeing with those things. So you have to have association with devotees, because we all follow the same thing. We don't have any, I don't agree on this, I don't agree on that. No, we all follow the same scriptures and we all read the same Vedas, so we all agree on the same thing, and we can grow together as pure devotees in Krishna consciousness with the association of different devotees, like Guru Maharaj, senior devotees in the temple. Next, there is two different things. Avirodha Priti and Virodha Yukta Krodha. This is two types of agitation in the flickering mind. Flickering mind. Okay, the first is called Avirodha Priti. It's unrestricted attachment. As a story, if you all can remember, there's a story where the sage, he reborns because he is attached to that one deer, right? So it's the same thing. You get unnecessary attachment. Oh, I'm attached to my sister. I'm attached. I cannot live without her. Something like that. You get attached to unnecessary things. I'm attached to my dog. I'm attached to my cat. Okay. In the time of death, imagine you're dying, and the first thing you think about is your cat. You be born as a cat's baby again. Do you want to be born again as a cat? I don't want to born. So I'm just saying that that's just an example. In Bhagavad Gita also stated that how at the stage he thought in the verge of that he's a very good king. He's a very pious king. He became how to say he left his family, left everyone, he came to the jungle to live a very pious life. But in that time, he found a small deer, and when he was going to die, he thought about the deer. Right? So Bharat Maharaj. Yes, Bharat Maharaj. So that is what we're saying here. Second one is Viroda Yukta Krodha, anger arising from frustration. Adherents to the philosophy of the Mayavadis believe in the fruitive result of the Karmavadis and believe in plans based on materialistic desires are called Aviroda Priti. Jnanis, Karmis, and materialistic plan makers generally attract the attention of conditioned souls. But when the materialistic cannot fulfill their plans, and when their devices are frustrated, they become angry. Frustrated of material desires produces anger. I pray, as an example, okay, I did இந்த பரிகாரம் செஞ்சேன். எனக்கு எங்க என்னோட அந்த பழம் கிடைக்கவே இல்லை இன்னும் பலன். இந்த மாதிரி செஞ்சேன், அந்த மாதிரி செஞ்சேன். Why is my result? This is Viroda Yukta Krodha, unnecessary anger. Okay, unnecessary anger and frustration because of material desires. Okay. Similarly, the demands of the body can be divided into three categories. The demand of the tongue, belly, and genitals. This one we talked quite time before. One we observe that these three senses are physically situated in a straight line. Okay, mind, tongue, belly, genitals. Right? It's all in one line. As far as the body is concerned, that the bodily demands begin with the tongue. If one can restrain the demands of the tongue by limiting its activities to the eating of the prasadam, the urge of the belly and genitals can automatically be controlled. In this connection, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura has said, Sarira Avyaja Jala. Okay, who knows this sloka? It's not a sloka, it's like a verse. You say this after Mahaprasade Govinde. Why we say this is because the translation reads, on the other hand, the literature which is full of description of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, form, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, a revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are here sung and accepted by purified men who are truly honest. Okay, this is very tasty prasadam, we can see. Okay, there are 6 kinds of rasas. Taste. Agitation by any of these kinds leads to control the urges of the tongue. Okay, some people are attracted to eating meat, fish, crab, eggs, and other things derived from the semen and blood. Others are attached to eating vegetable, creepers, spinach, or milk products, and the satisfaction of the tongue and demands. Okay, here we can raise a question. Just because I'm vegetarian, am I good? Am I better than the non-vegetarians? Srila Prabhupada has said in my lecture that I recently read a few days ago, same process. So, even by eating plants, we still gain karma. But by offering our food to Krishna, Krishna removes all of our karma. That's how we take a karmic free diet. Okay? Example, I cook salad today. The tomatoes, the lettuce still has soul. If I eat alone, it's still karma. But when I offer to Krishna and I take it as prasadam, Krishna takes all of the karma away. And if you're in a correct consciousness, if you're in a right consciousness, it becomes prasadam. If you're not in a right consciousness, you grumble, you cook, you won't become prasadam. It'll become karmic free diet. There's two different things. Okay. How can you prove this fact? This is Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 6.236. The person who runs here and they're seeking to gratify his palate is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genitals, unable to attain Krishna. Like I said, you don't eat prasadam, you eat meat, you eat eggs, you eat fish, you eat crabs, whatever. You're not controlling your senses. By eating this, okay, example, if I'm not wrong, I've been a vegetarian my whole life, so I don't know about this. So, but if you eat goat's meat, your body gets automatically very heated. I'm not sure about this fact, but that's what I heard. So when you eat goat's meat, your body will get heated. And that one will still cause a lot of pain to your body. My stomach hurts, my ninji kariko and the mari, like, you know, ninji kariko, and then you feel like vomiting from the sood, from the hotness in your body. So is it necessary to eat something just to satisfy your tongue and suffer later? Is it necessary? If I wouldn't think it's necessary, because you get so much of side effect later. Even if I don't get any side effect later on, I will tend to some disease, diabetes, cholesterol. Is it necessary to suffer later on when you can just control your body now, control your tongue, control your stomach, control your I stated before, the tongue, belly, and genitals are all situated in a straight line and they fall under the same category. Lord Chaitanya has said, Bala na kaibe, ara bala na baribe. Do not dress luxuriously and eat delicious food. Luxuriously is like when you come to temple, you're normal. You don't need to wear, I'm going to temple. I want to wear a lot of gold. I want to show off. That is actually something like showing off. Even though you're just wearing for your own self, it's like showing off. Come to temple, you just wear normal kurta, like Prabhu is wearing kurta, normal veshti. Mataji is wearing sari, normal sari. Don't need to wear anything grand. The devotee should be attracted to the God, not attracted to you. Okay. Last one. This is a story. Okay, it's not a story, but this is as far as the urge of genitals are concerned. There are two: improper and proper. Okay, legal and illicit sex. We are just not encouraging. We are saying to everyone: get married and have children. Krishna conscious children. Okay, you get married. You are more safer. Scientifically, you're still safe. You're safer when you're married, because you're preventing the side effects like STD, anything like sexually transmitted disease. If illicit sex, you can still get sexually transmitted diseases, which is not good. It's something you can never change. It's with you your whole life. Do you want to take something like that? Rather than you get married and you be happy, you create Krishna conscious children and be happy. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to finish it. Okay. Last one. Sri Jagannatha Pandita says that in this song that, my dear brother, you are in the renounced order of life. You should not listen to talk about ordinary worldly things, nor you should talk about worldly things when you meet with others. Okay, do not think of women even if you're in your dreams. Do not think of women even in your dreams. You have accepted the renounced order of life with a vow that forbids you to associate with women. Even if you wish to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you must always remember the incident of Chota Haridasa. Okay, this is a very long story. I'll try to tell it another day. And how he was rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes or dress with fine garments, but always remain humble and serve the Lord, their Lordship Sri Sri Radha Krishna in your heart and your hearts. Okay, that's all. It's just like what we understand from this class. Okay, it's like reflection, what we get. First thing we see that Maharaj Parikshit's announcement. Atonement, sorry. Okay, atonement. There's three analogies: the elephant and the bath, thief and police, and confession. The real atonement is tapasya, training according to the regulatory principles, and how we apply that in our life. I said how we can bring it into Krishna consciousness, how we control our anger in Krishna consciousness, how we control our genitals, our tongue, our belly in Krishna consciousness. Traditional tapasyas, you can see here, celibacy, mind and sense control, cleanliness. This is the traditional stuff. Okay, application, how we apply this in our life. Vacho, manasa, krodha, jiva, and udaro pasta. Srila Prabhupada's purport, and then Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's a lot of slokas given for us to understand more. Okay, Vacho, Vacho problems is the Karmi and Jnani, snake and toad. Toad, it's our analogy they given. And the solution, Krishna Kada, not Maunam. Not Mauna. Krishna Kada means talk about Krishna. Oh, okay. I don't want to talk to anyone. We are not encouraging that. We want to talk about Krishna Kada. Not talk about, okay, I am very pious. I don't talk about anything when I cook. You can talk, but we talk about Krishna Kada. Talk about Krishna's pastimes. Manasa, vacuum attracts anarthas. Solution is meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna. How? We chant. Chanting is very important for everyone. It keeps our minds sane. As material people, we are all in material. We are suffering because of material energy. So how to make us less suffer? How to make us prevent ourselves from all these material problems is we chant. Because by chanting, your mind will become sober. Our most prime reason we have material problems is because of our mind and our mouth. By chanting, we chant. We don't talk about other stuffs. We think about Krishna. We talk about Krishna. Okay? Krodha cannot be stopped. Apply against blasphemy, Jagat and Madai, Hanuman and Arjuna. That's the example that we given. Jiva, forced to eat in karmi shops. And how the solution is, we take prasadam. Okay? Udaprastha is no unnecessary sex. Krishna consciousness kids only. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. So I hope you all enjoyed that class. Today was given by Sakhi Vrnda. My daughter, she's only 16 years old, youngest Bhakti Sastri graduate. So I'm so happy. So anyway, I hope all of you enjoyed the class. So if any comment, please send me the message. So I end here. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. This record will be also available in YouTube later. Hare Krishna. Good night. Have a nice day. Bye. Go Ranga.